the cardiovascular system, featuring my snoring pug dog, if you can hear him in the background. The cardiovascular system is made up of the heart, blood vessels, and the blood. The heart is made up of a special muscle called cardiac muscle, which is only found in the heart. Each cell of cardiac muscle has only one nucleus per cell, forms branch cells with striations. If you remember, striations means stripes, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second, and are connected to each other by special bands called intercalated discs. These help with the timing of the heartbeat. So when one cell beats, they all beat at the same time because they're connected by those intercalated discs. This muscle is involuntary, which means you can't control it. So you don't have to sit there and think heartbeat, 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 and then get distracted and forget to beat your own heart, because then that wouldn't really be very good. It can beat on its own, and the beat is dependent on factors in your body. So like if you are exercising, if you're running, if you get scared, or if you get nervous. So let's kind of take a look at what I mean about striations. So let me change my pen color. It's hard to see, but if you can kind of see these little like darker lines here, and here, these dark kind of pink, those are what I mean by striations. So all of the little stripes that you can see in the cells. When I say that they formed branch cells, I'm talking about these kind of openings here. Okay, and that's kind of what makes it a little bit more identifiable between this and skeletal muscle tissue. If you remember what skeletal muscle tissue looks like, they were all kind of stacked on top of each other, kind of like this. And they didn't have any spaces in between them. Skeletal muscle tissue had lots of nuclei for every cell, whereas here it only has one per cell. And then I will use a different color to kind of trace or outline these bands here. You can kind of see them. I know they're hard to see in this picture, but my intercalated discs. So again, that's where the cells touch each other, and that's where or how they all know to beat at the same time. So functions of the cardiovascular system include transporting red blood cells, oxygen, and waste around the body, regulating body temperature, fluid volume, and pH levels, and also helping with protection. It helps with immunity by circulating white blood cells, and it also has a type of blood cell called a platelet that helps your blood to clot. So let's kind of jump into this reading here. The part of the circulatory system that pumps blood throughout the body is the cardiovascular system. In this system, the heart pumps blood through the body using the various blood vessels, starting on the right side of figure 2. So I'll take a look over at figure 2 here. If you are using Google Docs, you should be able to double click on this picture. It'll open up bigger for you in order to write on it, and then also so that you can draw. So over here, looking at the chambers of the heart, on the top of your heart, you have the atria. So this one would be your right atrium. And on the top over here, your left atrium. And on the bottom, you have your ventricles, so right and left ventricles. And I'm sure it's probably confusing about why I have right and left on the sides that I do. This would be considered anatomical, right and left. So if your patient or if a person was looking at you, okay, their right would be on your left. So that's why it's kind of flipped in this picture here. So the right side of your heart has the, I always think of it like a Taylor Swift song, Bad Blood. Right now we got bad blood. Terrible. But that is where it takes in the blood that has come back from your body. And before it has picked up oxygen in the lungs. So your right heart gets the oxygen poor blood, and your left heart gets the oxygen rich blood. So it's the blood that comes back from the lungs, and it's the blood that gets ready to be pumped out through the rest of your body. So I'm going to, use a lighter color blue. So here and here, okay, so this would be a blood vessel called the superior, which is on the top, and inferior, which is on the bottom. Superior and inferior vena cava brings the blood back in from the bottom of your body. So this one comes in from the bottom of your body, and this would come in from the top portion of your body and dumps into the right atrium. Blood that gets put into the right atrium is going to go through this heart valve here. So it opens up and lets it into your right ventricle. Your right ventricle is going to be pushed or pumped up through this valve here. Okay, this is a pulmonary valve that pushes blood out this way to your lungs. Okay, so this is where we're going to drop off the waste in the form of carbon dioxide, where you will breathe it out. And we're going to pick up oxygen. So through those capillaries, alveoli in the lungs, we're going to pick up oxygen, and we're going to oxygenate the blood. Fun fact, I guess, before I'll change my colors back. So this, okay, is an artery. It's one of the only arteries in the body that carries deoxygenated blood. And then along those lines, these are your pulmonary veins. Oh, you can't really see that red. Let me make it here. That's better. Your pulmonary veins, they're the only veins in the body that carry oxygenated blood. So I'm going to bring in my blood from the lungs. Okay, so in through these veins here, and I'm going to put it in the left atrium. I'm going to pump the heart, and I'm going to open this valve here, and I'm going to pump it down into the left ventricle. I'm going to do one more big pump, and I'm going to go up through this valve here into the aorta. Okay, and you can't see it, but there's another piece of the aorta down here. So my descending aorta, which goes to the bottom of the body. And then these go out to the top parts of your body. So that's how blood would move around the heart there.